Good afternoon, Speed Gaming, and welcome to some Final Fantasy random. No, sorry, it's Link to the Past. We have a very nice little Final Fantasy bit of music going on. My name is Tracy M. With me today is Fear Agent. How are you doing, Fear?
Doing excellent. Excited for Kaz Boots.
I'm excited for Kaz Boots after the first 5 minutes.
I'm excited that we're not playing Ambrosia anymore. Really,
Oh, for sure. There was definitely some interesting things happening in Ambrosia that, I say that, but Kaz Boots, we start with the boots, we start with a sword. So those of you that know a little bit about this, we're more likely to have an Agassiz because we already have that sword, and the boots also give you that lumberjack item. So, and here we go. And, like Eri, one of the best in the world at the escape, of course, because he's one of the best in the world at NMG.
Right.
But you don't normally get boots.
Yeah.
For that.
I think he can adjust though.
Yeah, I have that. Eri also. I wonder how. Yeah, that's a question I'll have to ask him when he comes on. How long did it take him to get used to using the PUGS sprite that they custom made, the dark PUGS sprite they custom made?
So weird. Yeah.
Just so used to him using the dark Link sprite because, some of us, myself included, need to have at least the Link shape, if not the actual Link sprite.
Yep.
So, hey, look, arrows that, arrows not useful right now unless we get a bow. No, we're getting a piece of heart.
So Eri, obviously well known, one-time world record holder in NMG. Telmiran, I'm not as familiar with. Big fan of his team name and big fan of Nielsen Alex, where the team name comes from, but not really familiar with him as a runner that much.
Yeah. Also, I'm not sure what these teams' records are, but I know for a fact that PUGS won their first 2 games and probably.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're 4. We'll get those.
We'll get that figured out. Okay, and there's our small key that we have to get sometime during the escape. That's boring.
If you were to rank like popular modes, is this number 1, you think, as far as
for sure
popularity?
It is not my favorite mode. I don't like the boot starts modes. I like to see people earn their boots, and also tracking. I don't auto track, so tracking is harder when you have boots. But it is, I think, there's no doubt in my mind, it's the most popular mode. It's constantly the one that's played the most on ladder.
Yep.
People like their boots, so I'm different in that sense. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the boots, but
you just don't want to start with them.
Right? I like to have the opportunity of potentially finding my boots earlier than my opponent. It also means that potentially I find my boots after my opponent.
Right.
So it works both ways, but I like them to mean something.
Yeah, I get that. I think people just like to go fast. I miss standard start, just regular standard start. I feels like that's never really played anymore.
Yeah, I mean they did it in the tournament in 2021, and that part of the tournament I liked. I liked that they did the standard start. The thing I didn't like about the settings in the 2021 tournament is because they did all the hard mode stuff. Was that every Ganon fight was 14 hard tempered sword.
Right. Yeah.
It's nice. I get wanting to not have all the items and make it an easy fight. That's fine, but I like it being more varied. I like to see the silver arrows and the strats with the silver arrows, but I don't want to see them every time either. So in the same way, I wouldn't want to see a master sword. Don't like seeing tempered silverless every time. I wouldn't want to see gold sword, all your silvers, and every time either.
Yeah.
It's I like the variety. So.
What do you think number 2 is, and why is it not swordless? Because swordless, swordless is now part of the league.
Really hard to say. I mean, cross keys has really gained in popularity, but I wouldn't call it the next most popular because I think there's definitely a learning curve to cross keys, and so when you get new people in, they're not as apt to. I mean, it was probably like 2 or 3 years before I even tried a cross key seed myself.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe just plain open. I don't know. That's a really good question. I don't really have a good answer for.
Maybe 80 keys.
Another mode I hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is a popular one. I personally think the 80 keys should be the co-op mode, but Because, yeah, that way castle tower keys don't quite suck as much.
Oh, right.
But,
All right, so we're almost through escape, so we can finally get to the seed. Aries flying, by the way.
we do have bombos. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is an interesting item to have picked up, and we can even use it because we have a sword. Although there's very few places where that actually gets us anything.
Right.
Oh, a shovel! Ew. Okay,
And
a
a
glove
glove.
is interesting. Glove is interesting. We have no bombs, which doesn't matter for the escape part, but it does matter for Kakariko. I don't know that we've gotten a map, so if we haven't gotten the map, we'll see if either one of them checks this chest, because I know I will almost always just check it no matter what, because I forget.
So close.
You might as well just check it rather than check the menu to see if you have it, because that's the same amount of time.
I mean, that was so close.
The map. Okay, thank you, Ari, for being dumb like me.
That was so close to a sub 5. That's so ridiculous. That's such an insane time.
He wanted it.
Like, my goal is always to try to go like sub 515, 520. Like,
I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, I think that's, if I can get a 510, I'm feeling good. But 501, that's pretty dang good. There's our fire rod.
Ooh, early fire rod. Early fire is nice. Oh, yeah. So I was gonna say, if Telmiran had remembered to skip that, I would have just declared him the winner outright. But nope. Apparently, none of us can pay attention enough to actually know whether the map was picked up or not.
You're going too fast. You're not paying attention.
That's right. Oh, hey, our bush crab is our savior today. We get bombs.
Yeah, nice day as we head into Kakariko. Looking for Dark World access. I think that was a mail upgrade.
I think that was a mail upgrade. So rip red mail. Even if we kill Aga, if you kill Aga, maybe you have an opportunity at some point. But if you don't, you're certainly not going out of your way for that. Ari in particular, I couldn't see picking it up. Decides not to get more bombs from the second bush. Oh, hey, look, there's some sitting out there.
Just pick them up right there.
The nice thing about the bush crab bombs, honestly, is now you don't have to even think about when you go to. Well, we have a sword, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
But the mini Moldorm cave is always the thing I'm thinking about in terms of bombs. But with a sword, it's irrelevant as long as you have one to get in. But a bush crab that has bombs on your way there is nice.
Yeah,
just in case you don't have a sword.
Exactly, you don't have to worry about bombs really. Always available for the most part. So I think we have crystals at Eastern and Desert, and Hera is our pendant. Shoutouts to our tracker today, Daruk.
Yeah, I always call those trackers the MVPs for a reason. We just can't do it without them. And Telmiran going to do something different here, saving quitting after the Lost Woods drop. Maybe going to do an early Eastern dip. Maybe just going to go to South Shore.
I think South Shore. Hopefully you pick up like the flute or bottle or something.
Yeah, flute or bottle, or like a, I guess hammer plus powder.
Sure.
Ari just got a mirror. That's nice.
It's very nice.
We can out of logic now, but we could go to Hera right now. And
sure.
Get that pendant.
Get our pendant. Sure. So still looking for Dark World access. Need that Moon Pearl and the other glove or the hammer.
I hope it's with the hammer. It's nice to have Mit's early to some extent, but Mit's Dark World access kind of stinks.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, let's see what the well has for us. So far, the damn sure didn't have anything. There's our bottle, so we'll get our sick kid check. It's actually, I much prefer getting literally any kind of potion in a bottle.
Sure.
Fairy, right. Once you have the mirror, the fairy isn't so bad, but fairies are much more likely to keep me from death warping than they are for saving my life.
Yeah, I feel like that's more of an entrance, because I know you like to play entrance. That feels like more of an entrance thing than a regular open.
Yeah, and that's true, because in entrance, you randomly find a dungeon that you can't full clear.
Right.
You're just gonna go in it anyway because there's items.
Yeah, they're gonna pretty much stay out of dungeons unless they can clear them for the most part. We might see a couple dips for there. Samaria.
That's a nice early item that doesn't get us anything right now.
Yeah, but it's definitely nice to have early for sure. So
Oh,
you don't have
for
to
sure.
worry about it.
You know, it's one of those. It's not. I mean, it's not the ice rod. Like the ice rod is, of
Mm.
course, one of the. I call it the second worst go mode because the worst is boots, but we don't have to worry about that here.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but you know, because the dungeons that require the cane are all late, even if you count Ice Palace and Icebreaker, getting it early is nice that you know you don't have to think about it. You
Mm-hmm.
know. Okay,
So
ice rod
wow,
cave. Gonna
not
get
really. I mean, the
things.
mirror is all we kind of got out of
Yeah. I mean, it's a
Kakariko.
nice. Oh, hey, hi, lamp. Hi,
There's
Aga, almost
almost
imposter.
Aga. Yeah.
You know, I mean, we're gonna see a lot of Aga seeds this week,
Mm-hmm.
so just if you like Aga, those of you in chat that like Aga, this is the week for you because Kaz Boots likes to have Aga seeds. They also likes to fool you with Aga seeds that aren't quite
Yes.
there.
Yes.
There's our fake boots, that 20 sitting there on the race team.
Fake boots. Yep.
Uh,
So
Shout outs to Dunka and his boots in the ladder seeds where you actually find the boots. And shout
right.
outs to the one time where the fake boots were sitting in the Lost Woods and I had no money and I really wanted that coin. Okay, and we're getting a water walk over to Zora. Nothing significant in the waterfall. Do we have money for this?
No money.
We don't have money for this. I like this better if you have money for this.
I think it's all right. This is gonna allow me to check Hobo. Dash over to Hobo.
Yeah, if you're gonna do this, I like this to make sure you keep that water walk long enough to do the hobo, because that's such a dumb check.
I know it's my least favorite check.
It doesn't pair. It's probably my least favorite overworld check. Left Side Swamp's my least favorite check. But yeah,
You know, I don't mind Left Side Swamp anymore with Diver Down. You know,
yeah, I mean
it
it
doesn't
makes
bother
it
me
fast,
so much. Yeah, it
but
doesn't bother me so much.
it can get me both in trouble for not doing it or give me a
Sure.
nice advantage because I don't ever do it first. So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's time I save. What do we got? We got a heart container. Okay, I mean that's nice. Not what Telmiran was looking for, but you know.
So we've seen all of South Shore, we've seen all of Kakariko, and we still are missing 2 pieces to get, or at least one, I guess, with a sword or a cape will get us to the Dark World. But we still don't. Oh, Eri with a death in Mini Moldorm Cave.
Ooh, you don't see that very often.
Yeah, that's a surprise.
I mean, we've all had it happen to us, but yeah,
I know, but we hold it. I mean, it's Eri, right?
I know, right? It's not supposed to happen to him. Well, okay, we'll put it this way: the Mini Moldorm Cave is not part of the NMG runs.
Yeah.
That's his excuse. The shovel just nets a piece of heart, so
Yeah.
we're down to Eastern, or going over to Aegina's Cave right now, and
We got Saha's Closet Eastern.
Right, the whole Eastern area.
Yeah.
I'm including Saha's Closet in there because, I mean, that's 5 items, so you'd think that'd be the play, but man, oh man, sometimes, you know,
Eri almost died again in Moldorm Cave. Is this the unkillable boss for Eri? Wow.
Yeah, there's that lamp for Telmiran. I'm gonna hit Kakariko south to north, which I think works pretty good, especially with that shovel.
When I see someone like Eri make a mistake, it just makes me feel like, hey, he's one of us.
Yeah, that works.
Just like this. I'm just like the stars. I too die in Mini Moldorm Cave.
Okay, unfortunately at this point, everybody's just, they're both tracing each other's footsteps, and we'll see who finishes first and has to make the first new check.
Yeah, I think Eri is probably going to do the water walk as well.
Yeah, I don't know that you
He can do Zora.
Yeah, he can do Zora. I feel like with Boots, the water walk is so quick. I think he'll probably do the Zora area, the whole thing.
Yeah.
I feel like if you have the money, you do Zora, and if you don't have the money,
Yep.
you do the
Hobo.
bridge.
Yep.
Do the bridge check, and it's like, you know, you might as well, because it's, you know, fake flippering kind of sucks and it's kind of slow, but water walk is fast.
Yeah,
if you
could run there, then for sure.
You know, we do have the mirror, so there is the potential if he chooses to do Zora here, to do the ideal way of doing the hobo check, which is to mirror from the Dark World.
Right.
So we'll get a new item here.
You can always just pretend it doesn't exist. That's what I like to do.
Yeah, well, that could get you in trouble.
Sure.
We see that can work both ways, but it's a time save if it truly doesn't exist.
Yeah. So Zora is in logic with that glove. Let's see
It
if
is.
Zora has anything.
It does not.
Okay. So what do you think we find? Do you think we find like a hammer pearl? Do you think we find
I'm
a glove
in
pearl?
Kaz
Or...
boots. In Kaz
Mhm.
boots, I'm always betting on a cape versus
Okay.
or sword. Until I'm told otherwise. And Eri doing the density playing and go over to Eastern. The only way that Aegina, honestly, the only way Aegina is better is if it either flat out gives you Dark Roll. In this case, it can't because we
Right.
need Hammer and Moon Pearl for it to flat out give us Dark Roll. But it's only got one item, so unless it's the book to go into Desert, but also, just the other thing that would be really nice to find in Aegina if you did it first would be to get a bow.
Right.
Yeah, if you got a bow, then you come back to Eastern. No, he's not going to go into Eastern. Okay, so... And our other option... Oh, no, we have Mountain.
Hera. Yeah,
we
Hera.
have Mountain. We have Hera. We have the pendant Hera play. I think that's where we're headed right now on Aries side. It is in logic. I'm not as much... If you don't have a hookshot or a hammer plus mirror to get to the east side, not a fan of this if you don't have it in logic. We have a lamp, so it's in logic. We can see.
And look at this little convergence here.
Yeah, we're both going there. Yeah, and I see in chat we got some people that hate unclearable Easterns, and I'm kind of I'm not of the like or dislike. It's one of those things that there are people with very strong opinions on either way, and Eastern is one of those places where if I have Aga access and my choice is Eastern or go to Aga, I'm probably just going to do Aga unless I can clear Eastern.
Oh,
in this situation,
all of the bottles.
Yeah, in like when Eri went over to the Eastern area, I might have kept going because you're already there. And
yeah, it's tough.
It's not a to me it's not a one size fits all answer. It's just in the moment I'll make a different decision. Oh, there's our
hammer. Yeah.
Well, it's still not Dark World.
Yeah, but now Aga's on life support though.
Yeah, probably not going to be seeing Aga today. Sorry, I built it up like we were going to have an Aga. It's not going to happen. Now that I've said it. Yeah, but Hammer's good because now we can also do the eastern part of the mountain.
Right. Yeah, you might just dip into Hera.
Let's see what the keys are. Like if you don't get if you get the big key, then maybe you keep going. But I think if you get a small key here, you just say, nope.
Yeah, definitely not doing it. Yeah, definitely not doing it if you have to do the basement. I don't know if you climb. Like if this is a compass in the next chest or map, I still don't think it's worth going up.
I mean, it's not like you can't come back here later.
Right.
It's not ideal. So get an item.
Yeah.
Aries just bailing. I think that's fine.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call there. Now, if you don't get the Moon Pearl up here, then maybe you come back and finish it
I
off.
could definitely see coming back here. Well, you got the save and quit spot, so you can come back anytime. I don't think it's any more efficient to do it now. So maybe you go Eastern or Aegina's Cave first. But let's see if the Moon Pearl's here. It's not going to be on the floating island, but we do see 5 rupees that we're never picking up.
Oh, look at this. Telmiran is climbing.
He's going for it. I think I like this a little bit better for him, maybe, just because he knows who he's up against. And the two ways to think about playing a player that you're an underdog against is, well, I'm just going to try and skip everything and find the route. But the other way to think about it, and this might be his thinking, is, hey, I'm going to go ahead and do the thing I don't think my opponent's going to do. So if he's thinking that Aries not doing this, then maybe you do this so that, hoping that there's something here that Aries has location.
Yep. Yeah, you can pretty much guarantee that Aries going to skip Hera in this situation. So if you want to
50-50 the items on the boss here.
There's our mitts. So how about mitts and hammer for Dark World access?
Oh, that's the best. Like you have everything then. But will they get a Moon Pearl?
I really hope it's in Hera.
That would be so good for Telmiran. Now, he still could get a small key here.
Yeah. I think you have to commit, right? Commit to it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, in his case, yeah, I agree. Well, there's that sword.
Oh, they have the Moon Pearl.
Okay,
oh, man. So they can do Aga if they wanted now.
They sure could. Well, we could get the red mail.
Right.
And there's that
Nice.
small key for Telmiran, so we know it's not going to be Moon Pearl in the basement, but there's still
Yeah.
other things that could be there.
You see Eri hovering the gap there. It's requirement to be part of the PUGS.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, it would seem. And now he's just going to go ahead and do Dark Death Mountain right now. With that hovering, I assume he'll just do Hookshot Cave.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a real clean hover.
Could maybe do Spike Cave. I'm not sure 6 hearts and the red bottle is enough. I think you could do it with a fairy because you get the extra iframes with the revive. But
he's got half magic and a Cane of Burna, so.
Oh, he's got protection. So yeah, he could totally do it. So yes, that'll be the end here. Did not. Oh, it looks like Turtle Rock is a pendant and ether anyway. So we're just gonna ignore that and hope it doesn't exist.
Yeah, other pendant being Ice Palace.
All right, so a question in chat. What determines go mode in this game? Well, it's kind of a complicated question because it depends on your dungeons. So you have to get your 7 crystals. So you have to have all the things you need for those 7 crystals. So for instance, in a lot of situations, your ice rod is going to be part of your go mode. In this seed, though, we are not going to need an ice rod. What is this hover?
This is just disrespectful.
This is just showing off. Yeah, so we're not gonna. We should not need an ice rod. It's possible we will, because it's possible there's something on Trinex or behind Trinex. But so in this seed, we're gonna need a bow because we need to do Eastern. We're gonna need a hook shot. Do we need a hook shot? Yes,
we do. Yep.
Looks like we need a hook shot for Swamp. We're gonna need some sort of medallion for Mire. We don't know which one yet. We'll need flippers and a flute. Yep. Yeah, that's pretty much the things we'll need. Some things that are almost always on that list are going to be your hammer, your mitts. There's some niche situations with weird crystals amounts. That you can, I'm still waiting for the. Apparently, I got a gloveless cross QC, but I got mitts and my opponent got none. So I missed.
Wow.
I missed the boat on that one. Okay, did we see what was in Hera basement? I did not see what was
No, he left. He left.
Okay, he didn't go in? Okay, well, he's got a mirror. He can go back. Then.
So what's nice about Eri's route is the mountain is done. He doesn't have to go back up there unless he wants to do a pendant dungeon. And who wants to do a pendant dungeon, right?
I think at this point, if there's something in Turtle Rock, he's not getting it for a long, long time. He'll go back there when he's going to do GT. Probably the same for Telmiran.
Well, the problem is, I don't know if Telmiran hovers, so if he gets the hook shot, he might come back up for that.
That's a good point. We'll see. I always think of it as 3 types of hoverers. There's the Aries of the world that kind of can hover at will, which is all the pugs. There's the people, I'll use Astor as an example. They can hover if they absolutely have to because the seed dictates that you don't want to have to search for the hook shot. And then there's people like me that just, nope, just can't do it. And looks like Telmiran is of one of those second 2. Now, the ones that are kind of like iffy on the hovering, whether they go for that particular hover or not, may depend, at least part, who they're playing. So I think it's more, if you're playing a hoverer, I think you just bet on Hookshot Cave having nothing, because you're going to spend a lot more time than your opponent.
Yeah.
Whereas if you were playing someone that doesn't hover, then maybe you can spike something out of that check and get it. And we are going to see Hera basement here. So.
This is a bold move. He has, everything to do. You have mitts, you have hammer, you have mirror, you have fire rod. Everything is open at this point, and he's doing Hera basement. So,
well, let's hope there's something here.
Yeah, this is the Hail Mary right here.
Meanwhile, it looks like Ares can go straight to Moth, which I really like in Skullwoods. Just go back to front if you can.
At this point, Ares is just gonna start clearing out crystals. He's gonna do Skullwoods, These down.
Let's see. We still need a bow for Eastern and Pod. We still need we need a flute for Mire and Desert, and possibly a medallion. Or a book for Desert, because, books are always fun.
Sure.
Just
All
a
right.
small key on the bridge chest.
I really hope this pays out.
You know, that's not the worst thing he could find. Eri's not getting that sword.
Yeah.
Now, there's another sword out there that Eri is likely to get, but he's not. It is one less sword in the pool.
Yeah.
For him, so.
I mean, you really need the other sword to be like deep in like Ice Palace or Turtle Rock or something.
Yeah,
for it.
it's kind of a it's one of those items that you're happy to have gotten, but what'll happen to Telmiran is if he runs into Gold Sword on path, he's gonna feel really bad about that Hairpiece replay.
Right.
Whereas if he never runs into the other sword, whether Eri finds it or not, then he might feel a little bit better about it.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I don't think, depending on how good he is at you know, phase 4 of Ganon, if we don't see silvers, I don't know if that actually would save the amount of time that. I mean, it might over the course of the run. It might save the amount of time he took to get it, because you know you get a better. I was gonna say Cold Stare and Trinex, but we're not gonna fight those.
Right.
Yeah. Like those are the two that the swords make the biggest difference, honestly.
You better get a better moth fight unless you watch just what Eri did.
Yeah,
and this
I mean,
is clean as I'll get out. I would say the sword is TBD at this point.
Yeah,
depends on where the other one is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than getting arrows. You know?
Sure. Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. So Telmiran gonna finish off Skull Woods as Eri's gonna head to the front and see if we can find the last item. Got a shield, I think, off of Moth.
Let's see what we got here. We got the heart container.
It's a nice.
That's
a nice Skull Woods. Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
have to do too much.
Yeah, that's the kind of Skull Woods that if you use Eri's route, or a route that I like personally, is to check where that heart container was. Check that location right away. If it's a small key, you follow it. And if it's not a small key, then you go to the back.
Yeah.
So that route would basically ned you your second item on Moth. Speaking of nets, we're
Eri
not
could
picking
get
up that
that.
bug net. Yeah, we're
He
not
could
picking
get
up
it.
Bug net. No, he's not. Nope, no bug nets for us today.
I mean, he hovered the hookshot cave to get that cape. Might as well take advantage of it, right?
There you go. Okay, let's see what Graveyard Ledge has for us. Interesting, he's going out of his way for this one rather than going straight to Feastone.
Oh, right. Yeah, I think now
If
is
you don't
probably
do
the
it-
best time.
That's the problem. Like, if you don't do it now, when are you doing it? So, and not even room in his bomb capacity to pick that up.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Telmiran also going straight to the back. Where this key layout gets you in trouble is if you're one of those people that wants to go front to back and go steal the small key to do all the front,
right.
you know.
Yep.
And it looks like neither one of these runners chose to do that, so we're good on that front. Let's see.
First look at VOO.
Money. Don't need that. And you can, the nice thing with the items we have is he can do, if he wants to do the Smith Chain, it's not going to be difficult to do.
Right.
All the things you want, all the things you would want to do the Smith Chain as quickly, as efficiently as possible.
Yeah, I think this is a time where you don't skip Smith just because it's kind of along the path.
The one thing that is awful is just that dig game guy not letting you bring your purple chest.
Right.
So you have to do that first. Oh, hi, Flute. We
There's
have
our
to
flute.
activate that right away. So missing a bow, missing a hook shot, missing flippers. And possibly Ether. We hope Ether's
Possibly,
not.
yeah.
We hope that Ether's just hiding out there in GT, and then we don't ever have to think about going into Turtle Rock.
Now, if I'm in Eri shoes, I don't want to do anything outside of VO. I activate that flute and head right to Mire and
I
check
think
Mire
that's
Desert.
fair. Yeah, I mean, and then you could do Hype Cave North too, if none of that pans out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Also,
When Hype Cave doesn't have anything, right? It never does anymore.
Yeah, it to my way of thinking, it is the perfect name because Hype Cave says that we're going to be excited about it and inevitably disappointed.
Right.
You know, I mean, as a child, every Super Bowl was hyped up and every Super Bowl was a blowout. So
Yeah.
that's hype cave.
Yeah. All right, there's the heart container for Telmiran, and he is out. Let's see if he wants to do Graveyard Ledge or just head to...
Yeah, I think that's a corner that he should skip, honestly. But we'll see. I mean, we know what it is, so it's a lot easier for you to say that when you know what it is.
It looks like, honestly, it doesn't look like he's changing up whatever his game plan was. It feels like he's just going to play thorough. Now, the problem is he's playing airy.
Yeah, if he's playing thorough, he only can win against a player like Eri is if that thoroughness pays off with an item that Eri's going to miss.
Yeah.
So far, we've seen the sword, but the sword by itself, even if Eri doesn't run into another sword somewhere, is probably by itself not enough. It is a nice thing to have for sure. Okay, so Thieves Town still only that flute.
Yep. That's a good prize to get out of this, even if there's nothing else here. Gives us access to probably finish Mire and Desert.
Yep. We're definitely gonna be able to do Desert at least.
Right. We're in week 3 of the league already. Wow, it's flying by.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this week because we're done with Ambrosia, but next week is the money week.
I know your love of co-op.
Yes, co-op.
I didn't realize until recently that was like one of your motivators for even starting the league in the first place.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just the idea of playing these co-ops, and that's always fun. Like I personally don't like 1v1 racing. If I high powder, that's a thing.
Yeah.
I because you're all by yourself and you can't look at chat because it's a tournament or high stakes or whatever.
Right.
But co-op, you have your buddy, that you can commiserate with or whatever.
Yeah, and co-op restaurants is so much fun. So it's tough. It's definitely difficult, but it is fun.
And restaurants is such a weird mode because of the way the keys work and. My one thing I don't like about it is the rupee bow.
Yeah, if they could get rid of the rupee bow, I'd agree with that.
I'd love to get rid of the rupee bow. My goal in Retrance is to finish with 0 keys.
Oh, nice. My goal is to finish with 20 hearts, which is pretty impossible when you're doing co-op.
It's in co-op, but in solo, it's almost hard not to finish with 20 hearts because all the take-ins. Okay, so that's a blind down for Eri as Telmiran enters. There's that flute for him. And let's see if Eri abandons the rest of Village Outcasts. I mean, he's gonna activate the flute right here, regardless. You do that now, no matter what your next plan is.
I feel it's so tempting just to flute away at this point.
Well, the thing. Well, okay, yeah, I would flute away. I was about to say you could still have that mirror portal, but you're gonna do Desert.
Right, you're gonna do Desert. Yeah. But you have mitts. It's not a big deal coming back to
no,
at all. He's going back in.
I mean, that's also reasonable too. As we said, the path to do Smiths and okay, so we haven't done Bombable Hut, so I think you at least do this.
Yeah, if you're here, then I feel like you're gonna continue on. Nope, there's the ice rod.
Okay, now we wish we'd skipped it. The problem with a location like that is it's such a common location that you always do. I feel like if something important showed up there, it'd be too easy to forget that you didn't do it because you did the rest of Village Outcasts. So we're gonna do Dig Game. And we have to do this first because, again, the guy is a jerk and doesn't let us bring our purple chest. And just do Blue Boomerang, and looks like Ari's on Team Blue Boomerang because he picks it up.
Yeah.
I'm on Team Hookshot, so I'd probably pick it up too.
I like having Boomerang though, especially when you're in GT. I think it's nice.
There are some nice things you can do with it. You never know if there's a good stun prize. That's also nice. Some people, have a red versus blue preference. I don't. There's a couple things I like to do with the red boomerang, but the blue one's not bad either. Most of those things too.
So I think Aries thinking that, if as long as I don't skip progression, I feel confident in my execution. So he can afford to be thorough and not really skip everything. Because that's like the one area that would really hurt him is if like he skipped Bombable Hut, right? And then it had his progression or Smith Chain or whatever, and allows Telmiran to like get an edge on him, where he can be just confident in his execution and feel like he can do it faster than everyone else, which is true.
Well, we made money.
Yeah. We'll check powder here as well as turn in the
I mean,
purple chest.
The powder I think is the more important check because you found the powder in a spot.
Okay. He missed.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I think if you hold forward too much, I think you can jump past or hold down.
But, powder is one of those things that it showed up, therefore you want to see if it is anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what do we got today? Of course, it doesn't actually have anything.
Right.
Now, it's not going to be weighing on you, so...
I mean, okay, so if you think about it, we're literally only 3 items away, maybe 4 from go mode, right? Yeah. So most of the checks that you're going to do in the game are going to be trash for the most part.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're not going to drag the purple chest and run in the dark. We're going to just flute away because that mirror portal's in a horrible spot.
Yeah.
So this might be, we're not going to do these South Dark World checks. Oh, there's the other sword.
There's the sword, yeah.
So your rip sword advantage for Telmiran.
Yeah.
He might not even get that gold sword. I could see him skipping Smiths if he wanted to.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, he did all of Hera, and I don't really know what his approach is. Is it to just clear everything? Because if it is, obviously he's behind.
Yeah.
The Hera play, he's got to know at this point. Aries probably not doing that, so.
Okay, so interesting that Aries going to do this South Dark Hole stuff first. I mean, Hype Cave is 5 items, so yeah, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But if nothing else, I would want to know for sure what my go mode is, and I can't know that until I see the medallion requirement for Meyer.
Yeah, I think he's going to take this to K45, Stumpy K45, maybe?
He might take the, you could do, we don't have a book, so yeah, he could just do Stumpy and K45. Not much, we can't do anything in Swamp. I was going to say not much because we don't have a hook shot, but no, we don't have flippers.
We don't have flippers,
so we can't do anything in Swamp.
Yeah.
For those of you that might be curious, it is possible to fake flipper with the splash delete into the water in Swamp. It is not possible to get out. Although there are some strats that are not allowed in our rule set that can let you do more. I guess I'm understanding this is one that lets you do everything but Argus.
Oh, wow.
If you're playing under that glitch set, but I am not an expert in these things, so. K45
nothing.
With nothing.
Aries is going to be glad he did purple chest, though. I mean,
after,
because we know that he's not going to find another sword, so getting that sword is pretty comfy.
Yeah, I mean, if Aerie had to do Master Sword Ganon, Master Sword Silver Ganon, he'd be like, okay, let's do it. Not a big deal. But I mean, if the bigger issue, honestly, with Master Sword Ganon is not the difficulty for a runner of Ares caliber, but that it's slow.
You're right. It just takes a long time. Bombos for Meyer, so we are good to go there. So we can clear Meyer. We can clear Desert. So we just need that bow gets us Eastern and Pod, and then the 2 items we need for Swamp.
So Telmiran is not doing any of the South Dark World checks right now.
There's the bow. Okay. All right.
Hi,
so
bow.
Swamp, go mode Swamp. Anyone?
Yeah, let's get the hook shot before the flippers, please.
Right.
We don't need any cookless Swamp plays.
So very aggressive play here from Telmiran. He kind of did what I thought Aerie might have done, which was just flute away, and he did. So he skipped out in Hype Cave, skipped out on the chain, and is in the Meyer area. And looks like he's going to go right into Meyer, not even get his bow, unfortunately, for Vidi. But he does have tempered, so it's not that big of a deal.
I mean, Vidi with Tempered is not terrible, but having those arrows for the second phase is really, really nice. He doesn't have a cape to make it better. He could use the one of my favorite strats. I'm not necessarily the fastest strat, but it's kind of fun to see someone use that blue cane and do the dash strats. If I don't have a bow, I'm a big fan of just caping up and just destroying Vidi that way, and because you don't use any magic, and you can actually kill if you have Gold Sword. It's actually not that hard to kill Vidi before you kill all the little eyeballs,
right? Which
is a really fun way to kill to do the fight, because you know once Vidi's dead, you don't have to kill the rest of the eyeballs. But that's not happening here. We don't have because Telmiran's not going to have the cape or gold, so we know where those things are, and he's not getting them.
So Tracy, where is Hookshot gonna be? I think that's a bigger question than flippers at this point.
Yeah, sure is. Well, we got a bow, so Pot Eastern is definitely next.
It can be so many gross locations, like Turtle Rock, like
Turtle
Ice
Rock
Palace.
can have those things. Ice
Swamp.
Ice could have a Hookshot.
Swamp
could have, I mean, there's some really bad ones. Although maybe one of the worst, because neither one of them has gone anywhere near there, is Catfish. When do you go? I mean, Telmiran is a little bit better because he hasn't done Zora, so at least he can combine it. For Eri, like, he has no reason to ever go back to that part of the world, so it would be a horrible spot for Eri.
Right. So we're going to see both of our runners just focus on clearing out these crystals that they can. So Eri's finishing up Desert. There's still an item left, I think, in the big chest, possibly. Telmiran.
I feel like he hasn't done all Desert, and that's a map on the boss, so we're gonna go back in. Let's see. Have we got an item in Mire yet? Well, we know where the big key is, so you know, if you're not gonna get a God Mire, this is the second best. Actually, if you're full clearing Mire, then I kind of like to get that small key in that spot, and I just know I have to do cutscene. I don't have to think twice about it.
Right.
Obviously, if I'm in go mode, that's not where not what I want to see.
Right.
Okay, we're gonna go back into Desert over here, and let's see what area.
It's on the big chest.
Yeah, we saw right side. Okay, so yeah, because when you have the mirror, you just want to mirror to that entrance, and then it's just out of the way. And it's just a piece of heart, so we're done with Desert.
Desert is finished. We're going to see both of our runners in Misery Buyer. Still looking for flippers and a hook shot.
And there's our big key. And Ari's probably also gonna check a Gina while he's over here. Oh, hi, Hookshot. That's not a bad spot. That is actually a really nice spot for that.
Super friendly seat. All of a sudden, we're at 41 minutes and we're flippers away from go mode.
Well, that guarantees we don't have to touch ice, which is really nice. It guarantees go mode. Oh, he's not even gonna do Mire right now. Okay. I guess he could flute back there. Maybe he could flute back there. Yeah. Maybe he wants to set up Spooky and with the flute method. We're guaranteed go mode swamp. We don't have to touch ice. At the moment, the worst place we could find our flippers is, let's face it, Turtle Rock.
Yep.
Except maybe Catfish. Catfish might actually legit be worse, because if you're down to Turtle Rock and Catfish, do you do 5-item Turtle Rock, or do you go for 1-item Catfish? You know. Eri still, guess can do Myra later. Okay. He's not gonna miss out on anything from what I can tell.
Yeah, I think he's kind of hoping maybe go mode Meyer, but with us knowing where the big key is, knows that it's not really.
I mean, it's not even in go mode, it's not the worst location for that big. That location for the big key is the worst in go mode if the small key is not there to tell you that the big key is going to be in the cutscene chest. Pod is a nice dungeon to go mode, but you can't always do it.
Right.
If that big key is, say, in the dark maze, then you literally can't go mode the dungeon.
Right. It is also our most dense item location right now.
5 items. So, yeah. And plus, you're going to mirror into Eastern and get 3 more items there.
Yeah.
Both dungeons you have to do. Myre's only 2 items, so there's a certain amount of sense this makes to just, instead of doing Mire right now. Also, maybe you find silvers and then Vidi's free.
Yep.
see some NMG strats from Telmiran. Has the cape out, the cane out just in case he needs it. Unfortunately, doesn't have the bow, so he's going to have to continue to use spins or sword slashes here. And everybody's favorite hover.
Yeah.
It's okay. Looking good. Looking good. Got it.
Makes it look easy.
Well, there's that big key. So this was a relatively go-modable pod. Yeah, you gotta hit that switch though.
Right.
We've all done that. To be fair, that's not unique to Eri. Did we get two? We must have gotten 2 items. Or 2 non-small keys.
Yeah,
so
we got the. Yep.
Yeah. So
the
he'll
map.
know that there's a small key in the big key chest and in the drop down.
Yep. So there's a map and a big key on the right on both sides. So
he could when he walks back in, he could just drop down and get the drop down key, or he could hammer jump to the dark maze and just never bother getting another key. Okay, so Telmiran is getting his hook shot, so that's good.
Oh, there's Ether.
Look, we can go to Turtle Rock. We have everything we need for Turtle Rock.
I think at this point you finish your crystals, but then you have to go. I mean, you're picking kind of like one-off checks at that point.
Yeah, like I said, do you want to go to 5-item Turtle Rock or do you want to go to 1-item Catfish?
Yeah.
That's why I call Catfish the actual worst location as opposed to Turtle Rock. And it looks like, Eri decided to do the hammer jump. I mean, he's not likely to miss the hammer jump. If you there's no way you could ever have a world record in this if you can't do that. So, and do it consistently and well. But so far, Pod not really having the goods. And Telmiran going to clean up Desert because, you've just done Mire. You might as well do both your dungeons while you're here. Unless you're Eri and you don't want to do Mire.
Yeah, so what's nice is we don't have to do ice at all. We still get a go mode Swamp Palace, but we're full clearing Eastern, Pod, and Mire, looking for those flippers.
Yeah, the full clear of Pod is annoying. Like, this was not a dungeon we needed to full clear, as it turns out.
Well, possibly. We might still need that Ether might play a part.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Eastern's not a terrible dungeon to have to full clear. It's only the big key chest is really out of the way.
Right.
And we'll see if every once in a while you get a god Eastern and you can skip that because it's map compass in the last 2 items. Yeah, chat also pointing out that Pyramid Fairy, because Swamp is a Pyramid Fairy crystal, so we're not going to see that check today, which is nice.
Which also makes Pyramid a terrible check too, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, there's your item you pair with Catfish. Okay, we're gonna get our Helmasaur fight and a Landmo fight all at the same time. Unfortunately, Telmiran does not have half magic, so he doesn't get as many fire rod shots for the Landmo fight.
Where was half magic?
Yeah, I'm just trying. Yeah, I don't remember where half magic was.
Oh, Saha's Closet. He hasn't been to Saha's Closet.
Okay. Fair enough. Does Helma have anything? It has a compass. Okay, so.
All right. Flippers. Where are you, flippers?
I mean, of Go mode items, flippers is
the best.
Is Mitts. I mean, Mitts is the best.
Yeah, sure.
But flippers is definitely up there.
Flippers is really good because, the hook shot would have been way worse with all the possibilities. Sure. But, with no flippers, that completely eliminates all the flipper checks, which they've done.
Telmiran still hasn't done Zora, and that's technically a flipper check. So.
But Eri didn't do Hobo, and he knows that he doesn't.
He now knows
he doesn't.
Never has to do it. Never has to do it. He can ignore it, pretend it doesn't exist, because for him it doesn't.
Right. All right, so Telmiran now done with Mire and Desert, and I imagine we'll
Yeah,
see
I
him flute over to
imagine God
5.
Eastern. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
can't imagine doing anything else.
Oh, he's
Looks
gonna
like,
check.
yeah, you can do a Gina, but you do that while you're here.
I guess. I mean,
It, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be thorough, actually, it's a reasonable skip at this point for him.
yeah, that's what I was
He's,
thinking.
yeah, like this. We talked about trying to do locations that your opponent maybe didn't do if you're Telmiran. This is not a location I would think that my opponent, the area in particular, would have skipped because it's
Sure.
just right there in the Mire Desert area. Plus, we end up not a super late Moon Pearl, but late enough that it wouldn't be completely unheard of for someone to have just done a Gina early. Some people do that. Definitely not a God Eastern.
Yeah, so it's what like a junk item, big key, compass. So let's see. You kind of want this to be a map, so you don't have to make a choice of 50-50, because now it is a 50-50.
Now it is 50-50. I expect Eri to go ahead and check it.
Right, because again, he's got to be confident in his execution at this point that he can clear things faster than everyone else.
I mean, in the same way, Telmiran wants to find that one item that Eri's going to skip. Eri's got to know that if he skips an item, I mean, there are like all sorts of types of skips, but a skip like this is a way he could lose.
Yep.
Like if the flippers are exactly in big key chess of Eastern, then he probably loses. Because you're not coming back to this ever.
Right. Just give me the map. Oh no, it's $20. Okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's an item.
It is an item. So what's Aries' options after this? He can go do like, he's gonna have to do Mire next for sure. But then you have Pyramid, Catfish,
and Turtle Rock.
Hera and Turtle
Rock. Yeah. So I could see a play up to Turtle Rock for him. Has the added bonus for him. We know that's not what he wants to do, but that's 2 extra items in Hera. So it's a total of 7 items if he goes back to the mountain, do the dungeons there. We know it's not pad, so.
But it could just be. Yeah, it could just be on Pyramid.
Could just be on Pyramid. Could just be Catfish. So it wouldn't be unreasonable, depending on what. If he's feeling good about his place, it wouldn't be unreasonable to say, let me just, as a defensive play, make sure the answer is not Pyramid or Catfish.
Yeah.
Okay, Ari's going to show us a Armos fight that I've never seen before, but it looks really cool. I think I've seen that one before, but it looks like I would never be able to do that fight because I just can't remember those kind of moves, but it looked really cool. And I'm sure it's like at least a half a second faster than any other fighter. Otherwise, you wouldn't be using it. But yeah, I mean, I could definitely see him making the defensive play of doing those 2 locations just in case.
Right.
Because that's another win condition for Telmiran is spike the item in the place that my opponent doesn't go. If Telmiran goes to Pyramid or Catfish, then that's not a guaranteed win, but it's definitely would give him a shot.
Right, like if Eri goes up to Turtle Rock and it's just sitting there on the Pyramid, and Telmiran grabs that first, then that's the difference.
Okay, here we go into Mire. The nice thing about this key layout for a non-go mode Mire is that it's a very efficient key layout for full clearing it.
Yeah. So we're gonna see our runners retrace their steps here. What's your favorite mode, our favorite week of the league this season, as far as the modes that we'll be playing?
Probably would say, I mean, the Veterans co-op probably. Of course, I'm not actually playing in the league, but co-op with a entrance rando, definitely a really fun. And Veterans, is unique enough from regular cross keys that there is a difference. Those of you watching out there, don't feel like Veterans and cross keys being both on the schedule is a big overlap, because there are some big differences to Veterans, and of course making it co-op. I wish cross keys hadn't done the pseudo boots thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely up there. I mean, but as you know, I love the entrance modes.
Hmm.
I could do without Enemizer. Can we get rid of? Can we petition to get, I mean, actually, as a commentator, it's kind of funny to watch. But
I mean, I don't like Enemizer, but when we originally made co-op Enemizer, it was literally we gave them a boots on purpose
yeah, to make it a
to
little
not
better.
so that it's fun, but so
Yeah.
that they dash into spikes and
Yeah.
Lyles and stuff
Oh,
without a
there you
sword.
go.
That was
Okay.
the goal of giving them boots, not because
That's
it's
okay.
fun.
Okay. I think I could support that.
Yeah. So Telmiran
Uh,
did skip the vanilla big key chest in Eastern though, so gonna miss out an
that's
item.
interesting.
As long as he doesn't go back though, we'll be time save.
Yeah, it looks like he. Okay, no, I wasn't sure. He looked slightly more traditional armless
Hmm.
fight. For a moment there, I thought he threw an extra arrow in the first bit. You want to only fire. You want to fire 5 arrows in that first part.
Hmm.
But it looks like I miscounted, which is good
Yep.
because we don't need the extra time that would have taken for him. Oh, what are we doing here? I don't think I've seen some ways of getting through that, and we don't normally see this. We get to see a room we never see. I don't think I've
Hmm.
quite seen the hover done that way to skip that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, no one's impressed with a regular hover anymore. You have to hold your sword out and hover now
Yeah,
to impress anyone.
there you go. And we're very soon gonna get to that decision point for Eri.
What do you think he does? Does he do pyramid or does he go straight to Turtle Rock?
Ah, I think he might just go straight to Turtle Rock. I'd like to
Yeah,
see him do the pyramid catfish check first, but
I agree. I think he does go immediately to Turtle Rock because let's face it, the flippers from Turtle Rock, they're just gonna. It feels like that's where
how
they're gonna
often
be.
have we seen flippers in Turtle Rock over the years? I mean,
Uh huh.
I mean the one of the rare situations, if you have ice and swamp as crystals, um, I usually don't like to go into ice with a fake flipper if I also have to do swamp.
Hmm.
But how many times also have we seen there's an ice rod in Ice Palace and then
Right.
flippers in Turtle Rock? So,
Right.
there's situations where you fake flipper that just so that you know you don't have that scenario. Obviously not a worry here. Interesting. Looks like Eri didn't quite get the. I guess he didn't get the setup for Spooky because that's a backup right there. Throwing that block into the void there is a Spooky backup.
Yeah, nicely done.
And he'll have a slightly easier fight because he does have that bow. He won't have to have no issues with the second part of the fight. Probably going to see just regular NMG strats.
Hmm.
Might not even equip the cape for safety. I don't know how many hearts. I don't recall the number of hearts you would have in
I
this
think you need
situation. But you don't
7.
have blue mail.
Yeah.
So NMG, you're not going to have blue mail. So the number he had should be more than enough.
That is crystal number 6.
Okay, and now we're on a flippers hunt. I think that was the thing I disliked the most about the Inversia settings is because we had the wild big keys, because we were talking about how it's no longer Inversia. Every big go mode big key situation is essentially an ice rod hunt.
Right.
So you multiply the possibility of ice rod hunts by a lot. you know.
Yeah. It looks like he's doing pyramid.
Yeah, it looks like he's going for that pyramid catfish check.
All of our predictions today have been completely wrong.
That isn't that normal for
Yeah.
commentary?
Yeah.
Like even in the professional ranks on, when you watch like a football game or a baseball game.
Right. Right.
Interesting. He double checking his map there. Or maybe he hit the button by accident. I know that
Yeah.
does happen on occasion.
Yeah, I think that's probably just an accident there.
All right. So, pyramid. Are you our flippers? I do wonder if like Eri was playing, like I'm not think I don't want to name names, but if he was playing a player more of his caliber, like one of the top players.
Well established, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
would he still do this check?
I don't
And
think
I
so.
think the answer. I think you're right. I think the answer is no. He might have also gone to Meyer sooner when we were talking about rather than doing some of that South Darkhold stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, as Chat says, one of his teammates, for instance. I didn't realize Telmiran decided to do Eastern before Pod, which I think is
Yeah.
fine.
Yep.
Trying
So
to think
Telmiran.
if there are a lot of places for arrows in Swamp, because one of the reasons why you might do Eastern before Pod is to get your arrow count back up.
I think he was trying to make it so he didn't have to full clear pod if possible. Like if he hits
That could be
flippers,
yeah.
because you have to, for the most part, open everything up in Hera or in Eastern. Excuse me.
Like again, that big key chest, the only one not in path, and he skipped it. Okay, so now
I think we're guaranteed a Turtle Rock, right? Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Everything else we've seen, everything else.
Eri could choose to do Hera first. I can't imagine he would do
No.
Hera first.
No way.
Like this is a situation where if it's in Hera and my opponent got it there, I'm just already in deep trouble. And,
Totally right.
So you do. I mean, the game gave us an Ether Medallion and an Ice Rod. The Ice Rod might still be irrelevant because that would be exactly Trinex. But
yeah, I don't think it's going to be on Trinex. I wouldn't be surprised to see it like on the right side here in the front.
No, not at all. And for all this, Telmiran is not that far behind. Problem for him is he still hasn't done any of the South Darkhold stuff. We'll see if he gambles on skipping that.
Well, the problem is he's behind still, and there's no room to be made up at this point.
At this point, there isn't. But what I'm saying, in the scheme of things, he's putting out. Yeah, he looks like he's going straight Turtle Rock.
Yeah, he's on the right track.
The right answer. So not that far behind. But yeah.
If he skipped
a mistake at this point.
If he skipped Hera Basement, this is a lot closer.
Yeah, for sure. Also, I'm a big fan of doing this right side first, especially when you're looking for just that one item, because two items that over one item. Now Turtle Rock also is a lot like Pod. It doesn't have the same kind of key logic, but the keys tend to be very front loaded. Oh wow, a completely skippable right side.
Right,
that's every day. That's the co-op dream, right? You go in, well, you hope your partner is the one that goes and finds that there's nothing on the right side. You get to skip it.
Yeah, so you're gonna get a small key here. You're gonna get a small key out of the chain chomps, and then you're gonna get a vanilla big key, which means we're going deeper. We're going deeper.
We sure are. Actually, my favorite room in co-op is Chain Chomps, because invariably, A0 is my SMZ3 partner, and invariably he'll get there first, and he'll find out, oh, there's nothing. You don't have to open the Chain Chomps.
Dash right through.
There's a beautiful key dash you can do. There's a couple RNGs that'll screw you up, but most of them, I think there's like 16 of them, so most of them are fine. You just get to just dash the room. Oh, and for Telmiran, this is also a hookshot cave, so he gets 3 extra checks out of this, as opposed to the potential 2 checks that Eri gets out of Hera that he's not going to get to because we know it's not there.
Right.
So, the worst thing that can happen is we find a book or a mushroom.
Right, some sort of fetch quest. Yeah.
Yeah, I always talk about the book. The book is a terrible item, and it's especially a terrible item to get late. So I guess the point is the flippers are either in or behind Turtle Rock, and let's just hope they're in. And I'll count Mimic Cave as in Turtle Rock.
All right, so the big question of the seed is: do you do Mimic Cave first or the big chest first?
I mean, I would probably forget and just do Mimic Cave first. But I actually like the play to do Big Chest first in hopes that it's just there and you don't ever have to do that mirror. Very careful. I mean, you got a red. He could use his red here.
Yeah, I think he's all right, though.
Yeah, he got a couple hearts there, so he should be fine now.
Looks like he's going to do Mimic Cave first.
Doing Mimic Cave first. And we get more money.
Money.
It'll be funny if it turns out to be in the big chest now.
Right. I hope so.
Oh, just a small
Just a key. So his way was faster.
Yep. I mean, it's only faster to do the big chest first if the big chest is
right.
exactly the thing you're looking for. So he's got that. Okay, he's just going to use the red here. I think that's smart. You know, you don't want to be. You know, at this point, you're far enough in. You don't want to be dying going back to that cave.
Right.
Oh,
all right.
That'd be a great go mode turtle rock layout.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do laser bridge, but actually, it's not entirely true because the big chest. No, because with the big key in big key vanilla big key, you're doing big chest.
Yep.
So it's a pretty good go mode turtle rock key layout, but we're not in go mode, and we didn't want to do this dungeon anyway.
Right. Is it going to be laser bridge, Tracy?
I'm gonna call Trinex. We got the ice rod. The ice rod was free.
Yeah.
The better question. Oh, never mind. There it is. I was about to ask what you would do if you saw mushroom or a book. Do you finish the dungeon or do you bet on it? But we just got the flippers. We're in go mode.
That's go mode.
Boring old laser bridge. So.
Yeah.
We're not going to see. I could see maybe checking the diver down chest for silvers, but that's about it. If you're area.
Right. Yeah, he's not opening anything other than the stuff that's maybe along the path, like you said, the diver down room. Probably not even the waterfall room. I don't think you can check that.
Pretty common for people to check the diver down chests. I did in a mentor tournament race against Darity Peels. The diver down chests had silvers in go mode, and I grabbed them, and she did not, and I won by seconds.
Wow!
So that was a fun race. Yeah, that was in the mentor tournament, one of the non-mentor weeks that they had.
That's fun. All right, so Telmiran not too far behind.
He's done enough skips that he's. I mean. I think that Hera basement play, it was the one that got him. Like, too much was on path other than the flippers. And then, and Eri was able to, Eri's basically full cleared, but, Telmiran has made some good skips since Hera basement.
The problem is, the thing is, like, if it was Hera basement, go mode flippers were in Hera basement.
He probably just wins.
Yeah.
So it's not like it was a bad choice to do that. Like that's, I rarely consider something a bad choice. It's just, does the play work out or not? And
right.
Maybe there might be percentages involved as to how often the play would work out. But it was, for his situation, I think it was a perfectly good call.
Yep, I agree.
And he's about to get his flippers, which will be go mode for him. This is still within the range of if Eri makes the wrong mistake. I don't think it's quite within just flat out big key routing, but mistakes can still be made, like even by the best.
Yeah.
It's never a good feeling to be in a situation where your opponent needs to make a mistake for you to win. That's never what you want. Also, shout outs to Eri doing the speedrunner strat on the diver down. It doesn't even bother with the chest.
Right.
You don't see the speedrun strat very often because you don't do it in MG because he's not allowed. But I assume Eri also runs RMG, restricted major glitches, which is like, of course we're going to allow diver down. So, and thus knows the speedrun strat. I think I'm the only non speedrunner to use that strat, just because I hang out with people who do.
All right, so Ari's about to pick up crystal number 7 and then head up to GT. And since I don't like playing the big key guessing game, at least my numbers, I think that's kind of boring. I actually like to see
I'm
chat
good with that.
call out a specific check, whether it be Stalfos room, top left, compass room, bottom right, Bob's chest.
Yeah, as you said it, we see it in chat. We see a Bob's chest.
So get your guesses in chat as to where specifically.
If you're gonna guess a room with 4 chests, I want the exact. Yeah, see, there you go. Random room, bottom right. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I don't want to see numbers. No numbers. I don't care about numbers. I want to see. You don't even have to know the name. Just say, we'll break it down. You've got Hope Room. You've got Compass Room. Those are on the right side. You've got the Torch. You got Stalfos Room. You got the Fire Bar Room. The Fire Snake Room. What's a Rando Room? Bob's Chest, and then the Vanilla location, Ice Armos. And then can't forget Tower Room, right?
Well, we've already had a few Tower Room guesses. The Tower Room guesses are like, yeah, this is for me. I'm gonna guess Tower Room.
So all right, so what's your guess, Tracy?
I'm gonna go Fire Snake Room.
Snake Room.
It's almost never there, but I'm gonna go with it anyway.
I'm gonna go Stalfos bottom right.
Okay. Now, do you know what Aries' big key routing tendency?
I don't know. Okay. I think he might go Hope or Stalfos room first. I'm not sure.
I like the answer we got here in chat of last room. I mean, we're not going to go with that because it will be the last room he checks.
All right, so Telmiran going to finish up Swamp here as Airy opens up GT. Get your guesses in.
All right, where are we going first, Airy?
Left. Not the torch.
Heart we're never getting.
Yep.
So if he doesn't 5 silvers, I'm going to point out that we're going to get that tournament, 2021 tournament.
Right. 13 hearts. Yeah.
Yep.
Blue mail. All right. Stalfos left. Bottom left. No. Top left. No. Top right. No. Oh, I got a book.
Yeah. That's where the book should always be.
Right. All right. There's the crystal number 7 for Telmiran. Not too far behind. Oh, Hope Room right. Boring. Hope Room right. Do we have anyone guess Hope Room right?
And he has 2 small keys, so he can just go.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that he probably doesn't even check any of the on-path chests for silvers.
Yeah. GG's the Crazy Sunshine. Hope Room right. First guess.
Nicely done.
You feel like a true winner when you guess specific locations.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's
the numbers
awesome.
Depend on your route,
Totally.
Chad asking what was the other chest of small key. Well, considering that Airy didn't even check, we don't know. Telmiran goes Hope Room first, and we'll gain a little bit of time. We might find out.
Yeah, I'm guessing. Yeah. My guess would be no, but you never know.
He's got 2 small keys, so that means there was one in Stalfos Room, and he would have gotten the pop key. Mm-hmm. So there could be one in there.
Yeah. So blink and you miss it, and
Aries
through. Yep. This is where it's almost going to be impossible to beat Eri, right? Like the execution portion of climbing, like Rando's done. Now we're just performing, and he's done this a million times. He's really, really good at it.
I mean,
Good luck trying to make up time.
I've seen situations the other way around when the experience that the execution player is behind the player that just got in first, and you can see the lead dwindling
right
as they go through, and that this is Eri has to make a mistake really at this point,
right?
And really the mistake he'd have to make would be like a late GT death, and just never happens. Oh hey,
right.
look, there is a small hope room to answer everybody's question.
It was the true hope room.
Yep.
That's the reason why it's called the hope room. There it is, small key, big key.
People talk about like Ganon falls, that kind of thing, but it's really like a death to Aga 2. It's just
right.
That doesn't happen.
Right. Even a Ganon fall at this point is not enough.
Yeah.
And it's just something you can never like really count on happening. It's more of like accidents that occasionally happen than something that's consistent.
Oh, we're not even in Kill Moldorm 2.
Yeah, I think he signed a contract that says he has to hover whenever possible. Yep. I mean, it is faster too, so there is that.
Yeah, in particular, you don't have to wait through the death cutscene.
Yeah.
I think if in for real, when you see the hoverers do it, it's like I think a lot of it is, and you can speak to this since I know you're a hoverer yourself. It feels like you do it when your hovers have been feeling good for that particular seed, because Andy will do it, but he doesn't do it every single time. Kind of weigh in how you're feeling about the seed. Do you feel behind? How have your hovers gone throughout the rest of the seed?
Right. All right, GT's done. Let's kill some Ganon.
And we are gonna get that 13 heart tempered sword silverless fight.
Right.
You guys in chat could put guesses on where you think the silvers were, but there's not too many places left. I mean, mostly it's GT and maybe a little bit of Turtle Rock.
Oh, Harry took a...
Yeah, he's down to 1 heart.
Yeah, I think he's fine now. The bats were the worst part.
Well, I mean, yeah, once you get past phase 2, there's not a lot of danger. Yeah, I mean, I think, there was a couple, I guess Swamp. It could have been in Swamp or Ice.
Swamp, yeah.
Because we were never going there, because Go Mode Flippers dictated that we were never going to Ice or opening most of Swamp.
Just need 12 spins here.
Getting close. I can't even count when I'm doing it, let alone someone else is doing it.
Right. Counting.
There
no
it
one wants to count. Okay. Get your GGs in chat for Eri, as he's going to get the W here, and 3 more points for the Pugs, finishing with the time of 1:18:12.
GGs.
And not very far behind. I mean, Telmiran is Aga 2 and Ganon behind, so very impressive.
Not far at all. Yeah, I mean, we talked about the Hera basement. I'm not sure skipping that would have been enough for him, but that is,
Sure.
especially since if he'd skipped that, since he also skipped the purple chest,
Wouldn't
he'd
have
be on
this.
Master Sword.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
he'd have a really long Ganon fight. So
Looks like Eri is going to be joining us here shortly.
yeah, we're just gonna wait until Telmiran and bring both in at the same time.
Yep. Not surprising, you know, Pugs off to a strong start. Probably the favorite.
I mean, you and I
win
were
on.
there when Andy kind of made the unofficial
Right.
announcement of his team,
Right.
and we were just both like, "Wow, that's a team," you know.
I mean, they have a target on their back
They
and
sure do.
a lot of pressure. So
Yeah, and Chad also pointing out that the hair play was, you know, I mean, sometimes it's hard to quantify his best plays. I see some disagreement in chat, but at the time, you know, we were thinking even, you know, go back, see if you can get something in Hera and give you a nice advantage. So
right. I mean, it's so easy to go back in a randomizer and say if only, right?
yeah,
But
well,
that's the game, right? This is the game that we play. You have imperfect information and you try to make the best choice that you can. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Go play spoiler.
Right.
We
Yeah.
recently had that tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I said, when you're up against a player that you know is a better player than you, there are two ways to win. One way is to skip more things and get an advantage that way. And, you know, Telmiran did a good job of skipping things late because he didn't even do Hype Cave, for instance.
Yep.
But the other way is you get the item in the place that your opponent never did. In Hera Basement, Eri was then a last location in Hera Basement.
Totally.
Because for him, if Turtle Rock didn't have the goods, the next thing he does is Hera because he'd done everything else. And of course, you're not going to go do the basement because the small key was on Moldorm. So, you know, by necessity, he was last location in that.
Yep.
I hate when you miss that spin just
ever
so slowly. You
right.
can't get the blue Ganon in there.
Throws everything off. Yep. Before we finish up, do you want to shout out our tracker again, Derek, for doing the tracking for us today?
MVPs are trackers. Can't do without them. And there's Ganon down for Telmiran. And we'll cross that bridge with an official race time of 1:21:57. So still a really good time.
Yeah, GG's. Well played. Well played. See if we can get them in to talk about the seed as well. That was fun. Fun start to the week.
I know, we were trying to get some comms together. We finally got it. And it was
I know.
And
it's awesome.
we have Eri joining us. GG's, Eri.
Oh, thanks.
And Telmiran as well. GG's to both of you.
Yeah, GG's.
Okay,
Yeah,
so Eri, my first question for you: how has it been getting used to the new pug sprite?
There's a couple of things where I realize there's some visual cues that I'm not used to, but luckily they don't matter aside from like NMG specific things. So it's not too bad, luckily. And apparently it gives me really good hover powers. So
yeah, there was some impressive hovering that we saw today. Yeah, I mean that was a tough matchup for you, Telmiran, and please, I hope I've been pronouncing your name right. But you know, the Hera basement play was kind of a big one and a big moment, and you got a sword out of it, which was nice. Not quite what you were looking for. But we liked the idea of it, you know, trying to go. This is one of the things that Eri didn't do. So, like, if that had turned up with something, it would have been really good for you.
Yeah, Hera was literally the only thing I had left aside from Turtle Rock. I wasn't feeling too good because of all that, to be fair, because I did all of like South Dark World and I got like exactly nothing, except for the sword, I suppose. But like once you get the flute and you see 2 crystal dungeons light up, and then you see that on Desert Ledge there's the bow, which lights up another 2 dungeons, and it's like, well, I just cleared like almost the entire overworld, and 4 dungeons are open. And if Telmiran skips all that, which is not completely unreasonable,
I mean,
like
Telmiran didn't even do Hype Cave.
yeah.
Yeah, I did before I went to Pod.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I missed that. But I mean, there was quite a bit of South Dark World that you just never did. You were able to save time because of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I only did that and digging game.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Hera play? Because you went into Hera, and then you went back. Was it just thinking, I don't think Aries going to do this, or?
I wasn't thinking about what Aries was gonna do and not. I like to do checks where I'm at, so that's why I did Hera. And I was thinking I was gonna go back and do it unless I found something really good on the other side, which I did with the myths.
Yeah,
but I mean, opened up so I could do all that and go back and do Spike Cave. So I thought, well, let's just clean it up, because I've lost races before as well to Hera Basement.
Oh, for sure.
So I was like, well, let's hope something is there. And
so then what changed then? Because after that, you weren't as thorough. So what changed between Hera, going back to do Hera Basement, and then skipping? You kind of just went dungeon diving after that.
I think I was clearing a bit. Like I went straight to Skullwoods, and after that did the Graveyard Ledge, and then Village of Outcast. And since I got the flute there, that's why I decided to skip like Smith Chain and that, because I wanted to check Mire, and I could do like Desert and that.
Yeah.
So I think it opened up like that place for me, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Like with the flute, it's also a lot easier to go back to Village of Outcast and Smith Chain and stuff. So like leaving it behind isn't as bad as it would be otherwise.
Yeah, that was always my next place to go if I wouldn't find anything. But like one thing led to another. Like got the bow and the hook shot and all that, so I could go into Pod and all that, and then I got the ether. So then I thought, well, I just have to go TR here.
So the ether was what got you to TR instead of doing some more of the South Dark World and Smith Chain and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you find the ether, just kind of say, and you did have Ice Rod, not that the Ice Rod mattered, but, the things were pointing to Turtle Rock. Now, Eri, on the other hand, you cleaned up Pyramid and Catfish right before doing Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
What was the thinking behind that? We thought maybe it was like a defensive play to just make sure it wasn't the right answer.
It was hedging my bets. I felt pretty good about my execution overall, and I didn't feel like I wasted like a lot of time. It was either like, okay, either Telmiran goes from my area to Pod Eastern to Turtle Rock, and like everything I've done already, like, was going to be too much to be able to catch up, or Telmiran also was very secure in overworld clearing, also did like Pyramid Catfish, just to do stuff that I probably wouldn't do. And then I'm just going to hedge my bets before going to Turtle Rock. It was kind of like, yeah. I didn't feel good about it, but since I only had 2 overworld checks left, I thought I might as well do it before going, because it doesn't take that long. It was, it's a difficult choice. Like at that point, in your head, you often have like this intuition going, okay, I found Ether in Pod. Well, I could do that before Mire, I could do it after Mire. I probably expect flippers to be there, but like the reasonable part of you says, no, I should just do the logical things. Should just finish Mire first, and then finish the rest of the overworld, and then you full clear the seed.
You know, and the Mire key layout was one I tend to like in a full clear situation.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you get the small key that tells you where the big key is, so you're not wasting your time with cutscene, you know. And then you just check the other locations. Yeah, it wasn't the quote unquote God Mire. It's like, okay, now do I finish the dungeon? Do I come back in? You know, there weren't hard decisions to be made in that dungeon, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, and that was also the reason why I left Mire first, why I only did Desert, because with the bow, Paul Eastern is a bit higher density than Mire, and if like the big key is really early in Mire and the flippers are in Paul Eastern, I can save a little bit of time maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it all added up, not mattering too much.
How are you both feeling about your start of the league season? We're heading into week 3 now. Eri, big target on your back, of course, with being the all-star team, and then Telmiran. I think this is your first go in the Invitational, if I'm not wrong. How are you guys feeling about things?
I'm feeling pretty good. I've been playing pretty well with Rando. I've taken a little bit of a break because my controller was broken, so recently came back. But yeah, in tourney races, I still tend to be a little bit too conservative with my routing. Need to do a few more ladder races to just open up a little bit more and be a bit more aggressive, because there are going to be some weeks where I'll just get punished by being a bit too full cleary and not taking enough risks. But overall, I'm feeling good, and I'm pretty sure that Dante and Andy will do just as well.
How about you, Telmiran?
Yeah, as you said, this is my first time here in the big boy league, and it feels good. We had like a devastating first week, came back in the second week, and now we face these guys in the third week.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
It's really tough, but hey, I'll take 3.5 minutes behind Eri. Like I'm happy with that. I didn't expect myself to win this one, so yeah. So far, I'm happy with the performance that I've done and that my team has done, and there's still a few weeks left, so it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. I mean, we're just getting started. I mean, we still have, it's only week 3, so. When is? Do you know if the second game is on the schedule yet for these two teams?
Pretty sure it's Wednesday.
See if I can find it. I've got the schedule up. Yeah, it looks like Dante versus Dilson Alex at 5:40 on Wednesday. So good luck to both of them on that, and to both your teams.
Yeah, just want to give a huge shout out to Telmiran, because like everybody I've talked to about the race said that Telmiran has been improving so much over the past year. Like last year was Challenge Cup, and this year was main tourney. Only been improving in ladder and stuff. So yeah, I wasn't going to underestimate him. So huge shout outs, and looking forward to your progress even more.
Thank you. Everyone I've talked to have wished me good luck.
Just need a little bit of luck around.
Yeah, that's so true. Anything else either of you want to add before we go ahead and close this out?
Thank you so much for the commentary. Thank you, Derek, for tracking. It's always a pleasure to talk to you after the race. So, yeah. Good luck, and good luck to your team for the coming weeks. Like after this week, you get to have your luck.
Yeah, I probably need that as well for the upcoming weeks. So. But yeah, thank you, Eri, and good luck to you as well in your team. And thanks for the restream. Always fun.